The Georgia Traverse had already thrown plenty of surprises my way, closed trails, washed-out roads, and unexpected detours. But that's the one thing about overlanding. Every obstacle just leads to another adventure. Welcome back to part 3. The Chattahoochee River Road has multiple primitive camping sites. This camping site I stayed at this night was actually a really good place. It was on the north side, so it was on the mountainside. And I will say, if it's during the fall winter months, you'll have an excellent view. During the summer months, it is kind of covered by the leaves, which again, there's still some gorgeous views. We'll be driving south. This trail is 12 miles long. ONX rates it a 2 out of 10, so just enjoy the views. On your left side, of course, you'll see there is some still gorgeous views, even though it's leaf covered. But I hope you enjoy this drive. So as you can hear, I forgot to disconnect the sway bars, or the sway bar. It's those end links that they just, I guess for off-roading purposes, you should, anytime you off-road, you just need to disconnect them. They're loud, they're just not fully tight, I guess, just the way they connect, especially for this bumpy terrain. I'm actually gonna, I think, hit some pavement before I get back on the actual trail after this little bit right here. So I'll probably pull over. I think there's a gas station or there's something before the actual trail starts back. A little small town. I'll probably go ahead and just disconnect them because they sound pretty awful. And plus I'll have just a little bit more in case I get in a situation like I was in yesterday. I think I'll have a little bit more wiggle room with the tires.
You running hot?
No.
I thought seeing a little smoke come out here.
No. I promise the truck was completely fine. It wasn't overheating. Let's go and get this sway bar disconnected. So guys, this is the second day, of course. Made it going towards Tennessee now. I'm actually heading towards the Big Frog Loop, I think is what it's called. Like I said yesterday, I was gonna take the north side of it. I won't do the whole thing because I think that's a pretty long drive. And I think from what I've seen, it looks more like just Forest Service roads. There isn't a whole lot of camping in that area, but there is one area out just on the outskirts, I think, that I saw that actually looks like, unless it's Sunday, it shouldn't be taken. It looks like it's gonna be a really good camping spot. Ran into some rain already. But luckily it wasn't on any really bad trail or anything like that. It was just, again, it was just Forest Service road. You can probably hear that or see that water shooting up. That's from all the rain that just happened here. So if there's any more difficult trails that happens a little bit later on, they'll be really muddy. I did go ahead and disconnect my sway bar. That noise is gone, which makes it so much easier to drive. And I will say the truck is driving a whole lot smoother just because, again, don't have the sway bar messing with the front end so much. And I mean, it's like, basically like I've said before, it's just kind of like airing down. West Wolf Creek is the 3-mile long trail that's a part of the Georgia Traverse. On ONX, it's rated a 2 out of 10, and I'd say that's very accurate. There's some mud, and there's a steep incline or two, some rocks that you might have to cross, but any high clearance 4x4 can overcome this very easily. Overall, again, it's just a very fun trail. Some very beautiful views in the fall and winter months. I can imagine they'd be very gorgeous, just like the previous trail I mentioned. I highly recommend going on this trail, even if you're not doing the Georgia Traverse itself. It could be just a good day trip. But anyways, just as previously, enjoy this drive. I just want to give you all a good feel. I don't want to overdo the driving, but I just want to give you a good feel of some of the trails that I took on this day. So we made it to the next part. I don't know exactly the name of this trail, but I think after this it basically gets close to the Big Frog Loop. but I don't know if we'll make it there or not. I'm not 100% for certain. That's okay. Well, you just saw that. I hope everything back there is okay. I think I just, wow. Goodness. Thankful for the hitch skid there. Whew. I hope this trail is nothing more like that. After this, I just want to try to find a place to camp, honestly. You know, it's nice to have armor. I'll have to check the differential. I don't think it took a beating on that one. I think it was already clear, I hope. That's one thing about trail driving, is you for sure have to watch what's in front of you at all times.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. When it feels like everyone's out to get me, I see the river on the back of my eyes. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. I know love is all
Holy hell. That's a fucking wild boar. I just saw a wild boar. I've heard those things can be kind of mean, so I'm not gonna get out. I'm not gonna F around and find out. I'm looking for camp. This is about 0.2 miles down from the wild boar. I think I'll skip that one. Well, I guess second thought, I could stay and have, you know, a ham or something. I don't know. Might be pretty good. I don't know if wild boar would make a good ham. Now, I think that we've succeeded in getting the truck pretty muddy so far. I feel like Goldilocks and the Three Bears looking for a campsite, you know, or the chairs. I guess, you know, this one's not the right size. Well, I think this campsite might already be taken, or I'm not sure what this symbol means. If anybody knows if that's a certain thing about a campsite, put it in the comments. That one just doesn't fit me, doesn't suit me. I'm gonna move on. Hopefully I can find another campsite soon. We made it. So it's the last day. You're gonna head back down this mountain back to the Georgia Traverse. Probably will exit off the Traverse at Big Frog. I think Big Frog Loop. I'll head north and then head back towards Virginia from Big Frog Loop. But this trail is pretty rough getting up here last night, so it's gonna be rough getting down. Quite a bit of pinstriping. Once I remember the name, once I actually look on ONX, I'll tell you the name of the trail. It had a pretty nice camp spot, as you can see. I think I showed you something from last night, but it's decent. It's a decent little spot. But there is only one spot up here. And the trail itself, it's like I said, it's pretty rough getting here. And I came up here late last night. I just was looking for something to kind of get to quick. And I'd mapped this out before I left. It said, you know, it had a pretty decent spot on the app, but just, gosh, the drive up was rough. So let's go ahead and head back down. Let's see how the truck does, and I'll take you along for the ride.
As I hopped in the truck today, I said that we make it to the Big Frog Loop. I needed to make the responsible decision to head on back to the house because as I looked at the map and I saw that I was low on fuel and I'd work tomorrow, it was just time to head on back. Honestly though, I don't see this as coming up short. That's just another reason to come back. The Georgia Traverse is right at 400 some miles. I made it halfway. This trip really wasn't ever about checking off every mile. It was about getting out and exploring something new and seeing what both the truck and I were capable of.
Nah, probably.
Looking back over the last few days, I'm honestly amazed at how well the Colorado performed. Every modification I've ever made over the past year had a chance to prove itself out here on the trail. I also want to take a moment to thank the companies that actually have supported the channel from the very beginning and that actually make trips like this possible. First, I'll start off with Leveled Up. They sent out their shock skids and also their sway bar disconnects. They came in made the trail much more confident and inspiring. I was very happy to have those. Trail went above and beyond by getting out their adventure tank to me before this trip. Having extra water on board gave me a peace of mind throughout the journey. Tread Auto's Michelin bed liner kept things from scooting around, also gave me more confidence. Kept the bed cleaner. Very happy to have them on board. Last Fit kept the floor a lot cleaner with their floor liners. Muddy Trails, they were very helpful. And Pune Cube's mechanical wallet is very helpful, honestly, it's much more comfortable riding without those big, thick, heavy wallets that I carry around. I will say, but more than any piece of gear or any modification, this trip proved something to me personally. That this was my very first solo overlanding adventure. Somewhere between the quiet mornings, the mountain roads, the unexpected detours, and the evenings and around, I realized something. Sometimes the best adventures aren't about who you're with, they're about discovering what you're capable of on your own. And that's very true. The Georgia Traverse doesn't always go according to plan. There are washed-out trails, closed gates, obstacles that I chose not to push, and a destination I didn't quite reach. but I wouldn't change any of it. Because this trip reminded me of why I started Driven 276 in the first place. It's never been about simply modifying a truck or any vehicle. It's been about the freedom to explore,
So pretty.
the confidence to take the road less traveled, and the stories you collect along the way.
I just saw a wild boar.
Thank you to everyone who's watched these videos, left a comment, shared the channel, purchased through an affiliate link, or supported the companies that support this YouTube channel. None of these adventures would be possible without all of you. This may be the end of this trip, but it's only the beginning of many more adventures to come. And as always, stay driven.
As we wait on the timing, together we find it. There's more